wait! Star Wars Force for Change, go!
All hail the revenge of the nerds. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 celebrity nerds. For this list, we're ranking the most popular and successful celebrities who also happen to have a passion or hobby that might be considered by some to be nerdy.
You know, we get things like the Joss Whedon directed Avengers movie. We get, you know, like by fans, for fans kind of stuff.
We're taking into account the worlds of gaming, comic books, Dungeons and Dragons, you name it. If it's a hot nerd topic, then we're all in.
I've been browsing, inspecting X-Men comics, you know I collect them. The pens in my pocket, I must protect them. My ergonomic keyboard never leaves me bored.
We will not, however, be ranking famous nerd scientists Bill Nye the Science Guy or Neil deGrasse Tyson, as they've already made our list for the top 10 nerd icons.
That just makes no sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Oh my.
Number 10, CM Punk. This mixed martial artist and former professional wrestler kicks off our list at number 10, thanks to a lifelong obsession with the world of comic books.
Over the camera! Oh my God!
CM Punk, otherwise known as Phil Brooks, is currently transitioning from a lauded career as one of the longest-reigning WWE champions into the world of professional MMA. While also finding time to co-write a run of the legendary Marvel comic series Thor.
You can love a character, but for me, I go based on who's writing.
The smart and tough Brooks has also found time to shoot a series of humorous shorts for the geek site The Nerdist, dealing with the athlete's other notable obsession, correcting people's grammar.
Good luck learning grammar. Good luck graduating the 3rd grade, Dennis J.
Number 9, Kevin Smith.
With great power comes great responsibility.
The media man, otherwise known as Kevin Smith, has had his hands in many creative pots out there in the nerd world, from writing and directing feature films to hosting a number of comedy commentary podcasts.
Green Lantern was given a power ring that he has to periodically recharge in a lantern that is fueled by his will and imagination.
Smith rose to prominence back in the mid-90s, thanks to the breakout success of his indie comedy Clerks.
Now it's time to head over to Atlantic, drink some beers, get ripped, and hopefully get laid.
But has since become an ambassador of all sorts of nerd culture around the world.
Well, what's the first thing you say if you missed one of my cameos? I've got to buy another ticket and see it again.
Comics have continually been a source of passion for the talented Mr. Smith, with his podcast and weekly AMC series Comic Book Men entertaining countless comic book geeks around the world.
If you've ever listened to this show, you know that anytime I'm anywhere near the motherland, my home and native land, New Jersey, I love to sit down with my fellow podcasters, the meat in the sandwich here, if you will.
Number 8, Stephen Colbert.
You are not the biggest Tolkien fan. I was the biggest Tolkien fan. Oh, really? Really? Why did Galadriel leave the Blessed Realm and come to Middle-earth?
The nerd credentials of comedian and voice artist Stephen Colbert have been on lock for some time now, thanks to the Late Show host's passionate dedication to the world of fantasy and science fiction.
J.J. Abrams and I are good friends, but he has told me nothing, including what JJ stands for or what his phone number is.
Specifically, Colbert long defended and championed his love of J.R.R. Tolkien's world of Middle-earth, as depicted in the Lord of the Rings saga, and has engaged in numerous debates about his other obsession with the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, all right, shut up. I'll take this. Shut up, sir.
Sure, Stephen Colbert may be the suave Late Show host nowadays, but it's nice to know that this old-school nerd made it to the big time on his own terms.
You don't know anything about Star Wars.
What? That's crazy.
You don't know anything? You're dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes?
Why are you using Darth Vader's lightsaber?
My blue Obi-Wan lightsaber had no batteries in it.
Number 7, Olivia Munn.
I am Olivia Munn.
The next nerd on our list hails from the ever-growing world of gaming.
Best video game ever created.
Halo.
As Olivia Munn first enjoyed exposure on the popular Attack of the Show series on the now-defunct G4 Gaming Network. Munn has since parlayed her popularity on the show into a pop culture presence that is largely based on her nerdy interest in video games and comic books.
He always had 4 followers he would imbue with power.
Recently, Munn was even announced as the actress who would portray the mutant Psylocke in Marvel's X-Men Apocalypse, cementing this nerd as a rising star in the industry.
Is it going to be the same costume?
It is
pretty close to
that. Yeah, except for this part. I come into the deficit with that part, but the costume is exactly like that, just a lot less here and here.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Number 6, Nicolas Cage. Sure, Nicolas Cage went through a spell where it seemed that he was acting in about 10 movies a month, but sometimes it's pretty easy to forget just how many classics the actor chalked up early in his career, including a rockin' appearance in director David Lynch's classic, Wild at Heart. On the other hand, Cage's penchant for nerdy, and some might even say obsessive personal behavior never seems to be far from the public consciousness. Whether it's the actor's unhealthy obsession with Elvis,
break my faithful heart, tear it all apart,
his die-hard desire to play Superman in the aborted Tim Burton piece Superman Lives, as well as subsequently naming his son Kal-El, or the fact that he bought a friggin' castle, Nicolas Cage ranks pretty high on our list.
how sweet.
Number 5, Weird Al Yankovic. What's not to love about Weird Al? With his homegrown parody tunes to his current status as the reigning king of musical satire, this California native has entertained audiences for over 30 years.
5, 6, 8.
There aren't many instruments less cool than the accordion, but that's exactly the instrument that has led Yankovic and his criminally talented band to success, creating such awesome nerdy parody songs as White and Nerdy,
Think I'm just too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy.
Word Crimes, and It's All About the Pentiums.
Wanna be hackers, code crackers, slackers, wasting time with all the chat room yackers.
It's a formula that hasn't become stale for us yet, and we honestly doubt we'll ever tire of Weird Al's own brand of nerdy musical genius.
I've done a couple of crazy things that have almost gotten me dismissed. Like terminate some head of state who wasn't even on my list.
Number 4, Chris Hardwick.
Oh yeah, that's I'm into computers. I'm into video. This is me. Like this is what I am.
The next celebrity nerd on our list wears a multitude of hats in the world of geek media. Chris Hardwick is a podcaster, talk show host, comedian, actor, and writer, whose passions often place him front and center at the nerd nexus.
It's proper etiquette to shoot my zombie daughter.
Instead of making me do
and
it.
not make me do it. I mean, come on.
Whether it's talking about The Walking Dead, San Diego Comic-Con, Star Wars,
Han shot first.
or in his primary spot over at the immensely popular website The Nerdist, Chris Hardwick is often the go-to guy when it comes to having his finger on the pulse of any and all things geek.
You know, it's kind of funny because like I used to get my ass kicked by jocks in grade school to then grow up and get bullied by nerds on the internet. So it seems unfair.
Number 3, Simon Pegg.
The virtues of being a nerd in the modern world is that we no longer have to hide ourselves.
Talk about the story of a nerd made good. Britain's Simon Pegg is actually something of an anomaly on our list, in that this actor, writer, and comedian has been critical of the rising popularity of nerd culture in various interviews.
Geek is like an enthusiast, is someone, you're a geek, and you have admitted it so. You're a big comic book fan, you know your stuff. Whereas a nerd is someone who's a little bit more sort of, just the specky idiot.
Socially inept.
Socially inept.
Pegg's talent has kept him in high demand, however, regardless of popular sentiment with his opinions, thanks to a number of high-profile appearances in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek reboot franchise, as well as in the Mission Impossible film series.
You have your seatbelt on? Will you asking me that now?
Add to this Pegg's fan-favorite horror comedy classic Shaun of the Dead, and you have yourself a guidebook on how to make it big as a nerd. Number 2, Mila Kunis.
Are you still definitively Trek over Star Wars?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Hollywood star Mila Kunis has a lot of things going for her. Beauty, brains, a sense of humor, and a secret gaming habit.
Wonder what music they're gonna use for her. Seems about right.
Yes, it's true that the star of Family Guy, Ted, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall is an avid gamer, with her particular brand of poison being the highly popular and addictive online RPG World of Warcraft.
And she even once said that she actually had to quit her rumored all-night World of Warcraft marathons, and she even compared it to quitting drugs.
Kunis has often spoken of her gaming fixation during interviews, and is said to spend much of her downtime either engaging in Warcraft raids or getting kill streaks in Call of Duty. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
When you can spend, anywhere from $1 to $5 on a record, and you don't necessarily know what it sounds like, it's sort of like a minor investment to find out what it's going to be when The cover's so amazing.
I would play Magic the Gathering. I played old D&D when I was young. But as far as video games go, I still like things like Miss Pac-Man or Tetris or, you know, Puzzle Bobble. I'm less interested in things like Batman or Call of Duty.
Also on Twitter, somebody said, hey, come over to Ubisoft and tour. And I was like, am I a fool? I was immediately in a cab and right there.
This is me in the 6th grade. Yeah, there I am.
I remember being that, like, awkward, nerdy, 14-year-old kid with a really bad haircut.
I thanked them for using my skins. They told me to shut the hell up, you're not age of career.
I am Colder, the Witch Hunter.
Number 1, Vin Diesel.
That power you hold, that's strange and ancient. What are you?
It's a good question. I'm a witch hunter.
Talk about appearances being deceiving. Sure, Vin Diesel may be known for his ass-kicking tough guy roles in films like Pitch Black, Triple X, and the Fast and the Furious series.
Go!
But his not-so-well-hidden secret is that the mighty Vin just loves Dungeons & Dragons. Indeed, many media outlets have picked up on this gaming fetish of Diesel's, and it's proven to be quite the conversation point.
One of the DMs allowed us to actually do plane traveling, so I was able to walk into Asgard and kick ass.
Diesel has been a part of tabletop live streams, taped D&D campaigns at conventions, and even had a special Dungeon Master's Guide cake made up for his birthday. Big Daddy Vin, we salute you as the king of the nerds.
I was an anomaly. I was a New York City bouncer, and I would work 5 nights a week, and then on my 2 nights off, I would play Dungeons & Dragons all night, and it was, in some ways, what I was working for.
Do you agree with our list? Who are your favorite celebrity nerds?
I don't think your extensive knowledge of etiquette and protocol would have helped us much anyway in the desert. Hey, are we actually arguing? I don't fucking know!
For more geeky top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Buy tickets right now at WeirdAl.com.
Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
Sorry.